In this video, I want to talk a little bit about projection. And simply put, projection is a process in which we're confused or unaware of the relationship between the inner and outer world. Specifically, we see things as outer, which may be inner. And this happens a lot in emotional work in groups. So, a good metaphor, which I think may be helpful, is a movie projector. And so, you go to a theater, there's a movie on, and which the images on film, they're projected onto a screen in front of us. The images before us, which could be frightening, compelling, inspiring, don't have their origins there, no matter how wrapped up in them we may be at the time. In a movie, we see, hear, and experience the action as if it were in front of us, as if it were out in the world. And what we perceive may grab us, make us laugh, or terrify us. But if we decide we really want to stop it, we'll have to turn around and see where it's really coming from, which is the projector, and either close our eyes or change something there. Just knowing about projection can be useful. For example, if someone has been beaten or abused as a child, he or she may freeze up and see great danger in any situation where strong emotion arises. In this instance, he or she would be projecting an emotional landscape, perhaps decades old, upon a current reality that may contain little or no danger at all. Unfortunately, the accusation of projection is overused, and the concept itself is often just used to deny the fact that the inner and outer worlds mutually influence and dance with each other. We see the world the way we are, not the way it is a useful and perhaps true statement. But it ignores two things. One, there really are no alternatives. We see the world the way we are, and that includes our perceptions of others as projecting. To see the Big Dipper involves a projection onto the night sky that highlights certain relationships among stars and ignores others. But if you want to avoid doing that, you have few options other than closing your eyes. And two, that dance of projection is happening in both directions. The way I perceive the world is partly a result of who I am, but who I am is equally a result of the way the world impacts me. If I was abused as a child, my fear and sense of danger came from the world and its interaction with me. Someone hitting me was not a projection. These inner and outer worlds define and respond to each other. And in facilitating groups and group processes, we have to watch for both kinds of disconnection. One form, the kind that's traditionally labeled projections, gives all the power to the world and denies the formative power of one's own inner landscape. This leads to innumerable dramas of accuser and victim. He, she, you did this or that. You're a jerk. You made me feel bad. But there's another extreme that gives all power to the inner world, and usually through the accusation of that's a projection, denies the connection, interdependence, and one's responsibility to the other. We are all in relationship, and when dealing with intimate situations and powerful feelings, responses of mirroring, validation, and empathy promotes healing. To just put up one's shields and assume this is all your stuff denies responsibility for the co-created nature of relationship. And showing another person how he or she is projecting can easily be experienced as just invalidating. Aho.